Okay, talk number 10 on Nat Talks About It. Love is a Verb is the title. So I want to say thank you to everyone who has sent me DMs and text messages asking, well, where's the talk? What happened to the talks? It's been weeks. I had been away for some time and I had been a little uninspired too, I'm not gonna lie. But here we are with talk number 10. So this is something that, as usual, I've discussed with a lot of people, particularly men. So it's really interesting. It's a topic that has come up with a lot of the men that I've either dated or been close to. And when I recently traveled to Florida with my friend, we were at one airport. I don't remember what airport it was, but we were at one airport and we saw a painting, a really nice painting, and it said, "Love is a verb." And I got very excited over the painting because it literally is what I've been trying to explain to a lot of people over time. Love is a verb, not a noun. Just because the dictionary has it as a noun, in the practical sense of life, love has to be a verb. Okay? So that's how the topic birthed. That's how the topic originated. And the question behind the title is love something we have, or is love something we do? And you'll find people on both sides, and you'll find people that say it's a combination. And I don't know that any of us are right or wrong. I think it's more about each of us finding the people that do think like us. Because I do think that when it comes to love, if our partner thinks that love is something we have, and we think it's something we do, that's going to cause a lot of relationship issues. I do believe that. So I think that's the importance of the question. In reflecting on kind of what I wanted to talk about, one of the things that I thought about is, why is this question important, right? What's the impact? How does it hit? And I think that part of why it hits, why does it matter, is because it kind of has to, whichever answer we give, it has to guide how we treat the people we love, right? Because if I am someone who thinks that love is something we have, then to some extent, I don't really have to do anything for it. I either earn the love from someone or I give it. And that can be based on a lot of things, right? That can be based on their traits. That can be based on someone they remind me of from my past, a parent or someone that passed or someone that I loved before, or whatever your basis is, right? I may give someone my love and not think that I have to do anything for it. Or I might earn someone's love and not think I have to do anything to keep it. So I think that's important. But and that's going to guide my behaviors and my actions, right? I don't have to do anything. I'm not doing anything. But if I believe that love is something that I do, right? That comes with intention. I'm going to behave. If that's my core root belief, I'm going to behave like I have to do some stuff. I have to do some stuff to nurture this love, to work on this love, to deserve this love, and to keep it healthy. And I think that when we approach love as a verb, that it's something that we do, then our outcomes are better for us and better for the relationship. And I think that love is a verb with all relationships, and I'm gonna go over that in a minute. I also think that the importance of the question is, for those of us who think that love is something that we have for someone, how do those people keep love alive? How does that happen? How does a love that I have for someone, but I'm not acting on, stay alive over years, over decades, right? I'm not really sure. And I've talked about this with people who believe that love is something that we have. And those people have gone as far as saying that if it's true love, it never dies. And I just can't get with it. I'm sorry, but I can't. This is something that I've explored in a lot of different relationships, and I can't get with that. I absolutely think that love dies, even when it's real. And it should die if you don't work on it, right? So what I get from a lot of people that think that love is something that we have is that I'm gonna love you no matter what, right? These are the people that are ride or die, and they ride and die right off the cliff with you, right? Or expect you to do that for them. And the thing is that ride or die mentality of love, that unconditional love, it comes with things that you do to get to that. I can't really understand, and listen, I believe that what comes first is the love that you feel for the person that they are. Absolutely. I think all love originates from loving the person that this person is, who they really are. That means their positive traits, that means their flaws, that means all of them. You can't get to being in love with a person without loving who they are. Absolutely. So everyone is deserving of love, and everybody should be loved for who they are. But when we talk about that long-lasting love, that love that carries a relationship through, that one is a verb, right? That one is a verb. Not the one that I have for Method Man, or the one that I have for Nelly, or the one that I have for Idris Elba. Not that one. That one's not going to carry us anywhere, right? That's delusional. That's not real. But the one that actually carries a relationship, that one is a verb. So it's not that I don't think that the love of something or the love of someone isn't possible. That's very possible. Just the noun, that I have love for this person. And we like to use it all the time, right? I got love for you, right? We say that all the time. I got mad love for her. Hey, you see such and such? Yeah, I still got mad love for her. I haven't seen her in a long time, but I got mad love for her. Yeah, that's all well and good. But that's not the other kind. That's not the verb that we need to sustain. So the argument that, or I should say the discussion, because people that don't like conflict have an issue with the word argument, but that's another talk. The discussion that I have with people that think that love is something that we have in ourselves for these other people, this other person, is if you have love for someone that you haven't seen, spoken to, interacted with in 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, how do you define that love, right? What is that love about? And what people have come back to me with that answer, with that question is, well, it's the impact that they had on my life. They're overall a good person. And it's someone that I will always remember and I will always think about because of what they meant to me at that time. Okay. You're just talking about memories. So you're in love with memories? I mean, it doesn't make sense. To me, it's actually acknowledging that you have a very limited view and a very limited experience of love. Love cannot live, cannot sustain, and cannot maintain without work, without behavior, without action. When we think about all the things that we care about, right? When we think about our children, when we think about our parents, when we think about our friends, When we think about our jobs, everything that we care about, remove the word love, right? Just things that we care about, because we may not love our jobs. Hell, we might not even love our parents sometimes. But when we think about these things that we care about, they all require behavior, love, and action and work. All of it. You know, plants die if you don't work to take care of them. So you might love your plant, you might love your pet, you might love all these things very much, but if there's no behavior and action behind those words and behind that feeling, the logical thing is for it to die. It will die. So how does an emotion or feeling like love just exist for years and years on end without any work? I don't understand it. And I think that, you know, and this is just fun talk, right? But I think that's a very lazy outlook. You have to show love. You have to practice love. You have to choose things. You have to do things to nurture your love. All the love that lives in my heart is because I have worked on it. And I notice that when I have unloved people, when I've really looked at, well, how did I unlove this person? How did that happen? Things that I thought that would never happen, right? I mean, it's only happened one time. I've only unloved someone one time. But when I really did the work to really reflect, how did I, because it happened out of the blue, but what was my process to unloving that person? It came from the intentional decision to not work on it. No longer listening to those songs, no longer looking at those pictures. And this is someone who is healthy and well, right? It's not someone that I've been separated from by death, right? Or something else. It's someone that's alive and well. And I did that, right? I stopped putting in work. I stopped asking, well, how are you doing? Did you eat? How was work? How is this? How is that? Can I help with this? I stopped bringing take-home meals because expecting that you were hungry. All those things stopped. And eventually it led to unlove. And listen, when I talk to individuals, when we talk to people that feel that love, once you love someone, it's always in you if it's real love, and it's something that they have, they'll say things like, yeah, but if that person had an impact, and impact doesn't have to mean love. Why do we have to say that? Why do we have to think like that? In order to prove that someone had an impact on my life, or someone changed or brought me to a change in my life, it has to be love. It doesn't have to be. I can kindly remember this person from my past and understand that this was this person's role in my life. This was this person's lesson for me. And this person brought me to these places. And without this person, it may not have happened that way. And I send gratitude and I send positive things towards this person in this way. But that doesn't have to mean that I will always love this person. And again, you know, I started by saying that to each their own and there's no right answer, but it's really hard for me to compromise on that answer because I've experienced maternal love, paternal love, brotherly love, sisterly love, romantic love, friends love. I've experienced all these loves. And again, I can say that with all these loves has come behavior, action, and work. And I can also say that when the behavior, the action, and the work stopped, the love died. Right? The love died. So, you know, a logical question when we talk about is love something we have or something we do, right? Well, how do you explain that loving someone that's no longer here? right? Those of us that have lost loved ones beyond our control, right? Those people that we wish were here but are not. I still love that person. How do you explain that? Very simple. And I can tell you this. So I've had 3 significant losses in my life, right? I've had 3 significant losses in my life, and 2 of those losses were through their passing, right? I lost those individuals through their passing. The third person is someone who's alive and well, right? There's nothing there. And I've loved all 3 people. I love all 3 people, right? Well, no, I love the 2 people. I don't love the third person, but I was in love with the third person a very long time ago. And one thing I will tell you about loss, right? And we, clinically in therapy, we talk about this all the time when we discuss grief. Death ends a life, not a relationship, right? And I'm going to say that again. Death ends a life, not a relationship. And this is not a new concept to a lot of us, right? But to some of us, it may be. When someone passes, the attachment of the day-to-day, right, and whatever the customs were in that relationship die. But the relationship itself continues in the survivor's mind. The survivor this is why you'll hear people say, my mother liked chocolate chip cookies, right? My mother likes chocolate chip cookies. My mother, my father, my husband, my son, my brother. And then you learn eventually that these people have passed on. They're speaking about these people's likes, these people's preferences, how these people are very real. The songs they like, the foods they like, because it doesn't end in the survivor's mind, right? When there is actual love, that continues. So when that relationship doesn't end in the survivor's mind, what do? We all do it, right? We have pictures up of these people, right? We listen to the songs they liked. I listened to a song that my mother, or songs that my mother liked. What am I talking about, a song? I have a whole playlist. I have a whole playlist inspired by my mother's favorite artists and her taste in music. And I can tell you that I will play that playlist at least once a week. That's work. That's work in continuing the love that I have for this person. So the things that we think about, we're meditating on, right? For those of you that are familiar with meditation, right? These are the things that we intentionally think about. That's meditation. So when you are listening to a song and you keep putting it on and you keep putting it on, or songs or a type of music, and it reminds you of somebody, that's doing work. That's behavior to keep love alive. These pictures that you keep scrolling through on your phone and or picture albums, that's work and behavior to keep love alive. A recipe that you make because someone else used to make it for you, or a dessert that you buy because that's something you used to share, or a place that you go to, this is all behavior and work. So to me, the concept of, well, how come I still love people that aren't here? It's not the here that makes the love. And you see, when I have these discussions with people that say that love is something we have, that's something that they come back at. Well, just because she's not here, just because I'm not with her, doesn't mean that I don't love her. It's not the here that I'm referring to. It's the work. So what I think is happening to a lot of people, and I'm thinking about one person in particular, right? There's a denial in this person that they're still in love with this person that they claim to have love for, right? It's scary to admit that after so long, he has intentionally done work to keep this love alive, right? Looking at pictures, revisiting memories, listening to songs, keeping tabs on what this person is doing or where they're living or what they're doing with work. All that is behavior and action behind love. Now, when we have attachment, which is we're together, right? We're actively together in a relationship and we see each other and we talk. Those behavior and that work looks different, right? This is what I was talking about in the beginning. I'm going to get you a doggy bag when I go out to eat because I'm anticipating that you're hungry, right? I'm going to call you to see how you're doing. How is work? How are you? How's your head? I know your head was hurting. All these things. So the behavior and the work doesn't look the same for every kind of love. Obviously, I wish nothing more than I can call my mother and ask her what she would like me to bring her from Cheesecake Factory, but I can't do that. So the work and the behavior that I do to keep the love for my mother alive is a little different than the work that I do for people that are here. But it's all work and behavior with intention. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm open. Please DM me, comment, call me, text me, do whatever you want to do to persuade me into the other realm. Because this is the other thing, right? The other question that comes with this. Can you have both? Can love be something that you have and hold for someone, but it also be an action? So that question, and like I said in the very beginning, right? Where's my water? In the very beginning, I said, I think that all love starts with the love that you have for someone, right? When I look at all the love that I have felt from the two people that have passed, that I love still, and the one person that I was in love with that I've unloved, when I look at all of it, it all started with admiration. And admiration is a way of love, right? I loved the person that they were. When I really looked at wow, I really love you. For all these things, I really love you. And, one similarity among all three people that I'm referring to, the two people that have passed away and the one person that I unloved, is that their loyalty for me was unwavering. Always. Their loyalty for me was unwavering, and they were extremely patient with me. Even at times where others might say, "What? Why are you so patient about this?" And, that bred a feeling of gratitude and humility that led to me giving that love back. And, I do believe that to get to in love and to get to the love that is the verb, you have to start with the love that is the noun, right? That's the love of who you are. I love you. Like, not my love for Method Man and that's delusional love. But that love of, if you've ever had a supervisor, a co-worker, if you've ever worked with someone in some capacity, you're like, I really love her. That might never get to in love, but if you nurture that, if it moves, and you can see how it moves, and that is what has happened to me in my experiences with love. So, I think that as I've talked to people about this, and as I've reflected a lot on it, I think that the conclusion for me is that, like I said in the beginning, it's an important question to ask yourself, because in dating particularly, because if you and your person are not thinking of love the same way, that's going to cause conflict. So clarifying that is probably going to be a very good thing in relationships. But also, I think that what I have become comfortable with at this stage of my life is that I need a doer. Yeah, I don't really need you to love me because I'm a good person and cherish the things that we've been through and always have love for me, right? That doesn't move the needle, right? That doesn't take me anywhere. Like I'm not experiencing love to be remembered, right? I'm experiencing love to be changed and to help change someone, right? Into a better self, into a higher level. That's essentially what love is for me. So I'm not really, and that's nothing against all y'all that disagree with me, but that's not really something that I'm aspiring to. I'm aspiring to the love of a doer. Yeah, that's what I'm aspiring to. I'm aspiring for the person that says, I thought about this for us and I did it. Let's go. Right? I'm not really into intentions. And I think intentions are good in the sense that you should always have an order of intentions for something you want or something you want to achieve. Absolutely. But intentions don't make outcomes. They don't accomplish outcomes. They're a way for the outcomes. And I think people, so that one of the phrases that I can't stand is, it's the thought that counts. No, it's not. It's not the thought that counts. It's the actual person that does something with that thought. Even if they're not successful with what they do, but doing something is big. It's huge. You tried to do this thing. Intention for me just lives in my head. It just lives in my brain. But the actual outcome, that comes from behavior, from work, and from action. So that's my take. That is love is a verb. But let me know. Please, please, please comment. Follow the YouTube. Nat Talks About It. Hit the like button. And hit the bell so that it can let you know if there are any new talks. But I really want to know, is your love something that you have, or is your love something that you do? Tell me all about it.